Academy webinar. And today our topic we will discuss about ubiquity products. Especially we will going to go through two of their main uh, model, which is AirFiber and AirMax. Okay, so just an introduction for you to understand what is AirFiber and what is AirMax, so that later you will know which product to use for your deployment, and then we will go through one demonstration of configuring point to point using AirMax, because I don't have a fiber here with me, so I'll just show you AirMax configuration of point to point. Okay, so let us go through some introduction to AirFiber and AirMax. We'll go through the AirFiber first before we go to AirMax. Okay, so for those who didn't know, both products, AirFiber and AirMax, are used as wireless bridging. So, or in normal term, we call it as point to point or point to multi-point. But take note that a fiber is only for point to point, while AirMax, you can use it for point to point and point to multi-point. So you go through the differences between those two products so that you will have a better understanding. Okay, so the first one is AirFiber. What is AirFiber? So the name itself, you know already. It will give you a point-to-point solution with a gigabit throughput. All right. So the differences, so the main differences between AirFiber and AirMax, we are looking for backhaul. You want a high throughput backhaul, high reliability backhaul. So you will go for AirFiber. Okay, so it will deliver amazing wireless gigabit performance, low latency, and long range. Okay, also you need to consider to use AirFiber for long range. Okay, so this is AirFiber generally. Okay. Yeah, so the features are efficient by design. So I'll not go through this one, just introduction to that. Yes, plug and play deployment. So if you've seen the air fiber, so you will know how the hardware looks like. Okay, it has an LED display, all right, audio tone feature, okay, and web interface. Okay, high design for freedom. So for AirFiber models, you can have the 5 gig model, all right, between mid band and high band model. So a F5 is the mid band 5 gig frequency, all right. So if you want to use the high band, you should consider to use a F5U. And then for the license model, you can go for the 24 AF34 or AF34 HD, right? But this one you need to purchase the required licensing from MCMC, right, for you to use it. Okay, so definitely if you're using AF24, you will be getting a more reliable link and more higher throughput, okay, on your radio because you are using high frequency modem. All right. Also, they have AF11, okay, and also AF5X. So let me just go through the website. If you can see from the website, okay, see here and the product here. So you see AirFiber. So you have AirFiber 24, AirFiber 24 HD, all right, and then the normal one will be AirFiber 5, all right, and then the AirFiber 11, all right. Also, they have also AirFiber X, a smaller version of the AirFiber where you can attach external antenna. Okay, you can attach external antenna. So the radio range from uh, 2.4 to 5G and then range 200 kilometer. All right, the normal one, the AirFiber 5 is 100 kilometer plus, and AirFiber 24 up to 50 kilometers. Okay, so these are the models. Okay, all right. Then yes, it is built for speed and range. All right. So if you're using AirFiber 5, the aggregate throughput is 1.2 kilobit per second. All right. 1.5 for AirFiber 34 and 2 gig throughput for AF 34 HD. So please understand the ubiquity point-to-point solution, the throughput are aggregate. So the 1.2 or 1.5 or 2 gig is not uh, transmit and receive. It is the combination of those two. So if you by 1.2 gig means the transmit could be 500 Mbps, then receive could be another 500 Mbps. So it's not transmit 1.2 and receive 1.2. Okay, so you need to understand that. Okay, right. So a fiber for long range, yeah, usually they use it for long range or as your backhaul. Okay, as your backhaul. Okay. So this is the graph of the two the speed comparison. So definitely F5 24 have the highest speed in all fiber model. Okay, and compared to the other connection by the cable or the extent. Right. Right. And also in AirFiber, especially if you're using AirFiber 5, you can have full duplex or half duplex mode. So you can have a different channel for transmit and receive so that your link will be more stable because you can choose different channel for the X and half X. So you can have full duplex or half duplex. Okay, all right. These are the model I showed you just now, and this the antenna. If you are using the AirFiber X, right, like this model, you need to attach to external antenna. Whether you can use the best one, you should use antennas provided by UBNT, but still you can use the party antenna. But how reliable the antenna depends on the condition. Okay. So this AirFiber 5, AirFiber X, you need to attach to uh, external antenna. So these are some example of the antenna using dish antenna. So you can choose different uh, antenna gain. All right. So you have the dish here, or you can use the rocket dish from the AirMax. Also, it can be used here for AirFiber. Okay. So these are some example. So you can read more on the spec. Okay. Right. Yeah, this is example of link planning. So like I said, a fiber is only for point to point. So there will only be one master and then one slave. In Ubiquiti, they call it as master or slave, or you get it is. Okay. Okay. I think someone wants to see in full screen. Okay. The reason I didn't put in full screen is because I need to change the window sometime. Okay. All right. I put it in full screen. Okay. All right. Uh, okay. So like I said, air fiber is only for point to point. Okay. So there will be only one master and one slave, or normal term you call it as base access point and station, or some people call it as base station and station. Okay, so it is only for point to point. Okay, so the normal link like this one is a basic link like this one, or some people use a daisy chain. All right, if you want to repeat, you have multiple hop. So you connect another master on the slave and go to another slave, and you can make a ring design also. Okay, so this is what you can do with AirFiber. So you cannot use point to multi-point in AirFiber mode. Okay, AirFiber model. Okay, all right. So this is a simple or finished installation. I think if you are the point-to-point installer, you should know already the requirement and precaution that you need to take before installing. So these are some suggestion when you do installation outdoor. So the most important thing is you need to consider to have grounding to your unit. This one is very important to avoid lightning to your unit. Okay, so always consider to mount your unit yes on a pole and then make a proper grounding. And also it is suggested to add two surge protector to protect everything underneath your point-to-point unit. Okay, so here at least you put one surge protector, but if you can spend more, you should put two, so that your devices behind the point-to-point will be secured from lightning. Okay. Okay, so this is an example. So when you put the surge protector, so you will have a proper protection for your units on the indoor. Okay, all right. Always take note on this because some installer they didn't take note on this, and your device, your point-to-point device, will be vulnerable to lightning. And if your radio burns or faulty due to lightning, you will not get warranty replacement for that unit. Right? So that's about a fiber. So very simple introduction. I think you guys will understand that. Okay, so very easy to understand what is a fiber. Now let us go through AirMax. Okay. So, what is AirMax? So, AirMax is the point-to-point, same as AirFiber, point-to-point, and also you can use point-to-multipoint, okay, using AirMax. So, the OS used by AirMax are AirOS. So, all of AirMax model are using AirOS system, okay, all right. So these are the models. So let me just go through the website again. If I go back to products, okay. If you have you can also open the website to see. Okay, so it's under the AirMax here. So you will see. All right. So they have labeled some model into the specific use of the model. For example, CPE, customer premise devices. This one AP, okay, and then you have the antenna, okay. So doesn't mean that when you see CPE doesn't mean that this one will only be the station. All right, you can also use this CPE as point to point or as the base station also for point to point or point to multi point. It doesn't matter, but the only reason they put is something like this so that it will be easier for you to choose. Okay, but still you can use this model as the base station. Okay, and same goes to the AP also. You can use AP also as the station, and not only it is used for base station. All right. So it just depends on your site location, environment, all those things will be used to understand which model for you to use. Okay, so you can choose any of the models here. All right, but you need to take note on the location, on what kind of signal strength do you need, uh, distance of your location. So all those things will be used when you want to choose the AirMax product. Okay. Okay, so those are the models. So you can see here for station. Okay, you have ISO station. I would recommend you to use the AC model. Okay, as the current technology is using AC, so it's better for you to use AC. All right. So more reliable, higher throughput, okay, and it is on the latest technology, okay. So you can choose for your station, you can use ISO station, you can use light beam, nano beam. So the famous one used by our customers would be nano station AC. So this one, the right one, because they use this one because it has a secondary port where you can power up another device. So people use this a lot as a solution for your for their CCTV. All right, they want to do CCTV for an area, and they want to do point to point or point to multi point. So nano station AC have a secondary port where you can power up maybe another AP, or you can power up the CCTV. So they use this a lot. All right. All right, so nano beam, and then you have power beam. So you, if you want to go for more high performance throughput, more high performer radio for point to multi point, the station they change to power beam or power beam ISO. Okay, so you can choose any of the models. So like I said, depends on your requirement, depends on the distance. So from there you choose which model to use. Okay, so like nano station only for not for point to multi-point should be short distance. I would suggest you if you're using nano station, if point to multi-point maybe around 5 kilometers. Okay, although it says here 15 kilometers, I would not suggest you to use if you have 15 kilometers to use nano station. All right, if you plan to have around 15 kilometers distance, you should go maybe a power beam. Okay, that's how you determine which model to use. Okay. Right, so this is the AP. If you're using point to multi-point, you should consider this model as the AP because usually point to multi-point, you will need a powerful AP to cater many connection, and also the AP will have should have a wider coverage, a wider beam width. Okay, because you do point to multi-point, which means you have several locations, and several locations will have some degrees. So these are the models suitable for base station. Okay, like a rocket. If you're using rocket are the famous, the popular model to use as a base station because rocket you can attach with external antenna. Okay, so you can choose if you want the signal to be 360 degree, or you want to have 120 degrees coverage. Okay, so you use rocket so that you can attach to external antenna. All right, also you can use prism also. All right, prism, and also sim I think the easiest simplest design is the light APS-C. So this one is built in, but sector antenna up to 120 degree coverage. So like you can use light AP for point to multi-point. A short distance point to multi-point, you can use light APS-C. Right? Okay. These are the antenna. If you're using a rocket, okay, so rocket you can attach to this external antenna, okay. So the AirMax, if you want a sector antenna, so you have the AirMax sector antenna. All right. So this one, the non-AC AirMax sector antenna also. So you can have several antenna ranging from 60 degree up to 120 degree antenna. Okay. If you don't want sector antenna, you want your beam width to be focused. Maybe you are using it for point to point with rocket. So you want a narrow bandwidth, so you can use rocket dish. So it's like a dish. So your signal will be focused narrow, and then rather than open and wider like sector. All right. If you plan to go for 360 point to multi point, So you can use AirMax Omni antenna. All right. So or you can use horn also or the ISO beam. All right. So like I said, depends on your situation. So you can use also AirMax antenna. You can attach to the AirFiber unit. Also can be used. Okay. Alright, so this one is the legacy antenna, legacy product for AirMax. So the ones, the non-AC still can be used, but maybe one day it will be obsolete. And also, like I said, it's better for you to go for the AC model rather than the legacy model. If you have been using the legacy for so long, maybe it's time for you to change to the AC. Okay, so these are the non-AC Air Max product. All right, still you can use it. Okay, right. So you just have to take note that some of the antenna is non-AC, so you cannot use with the AC one, and some antenna with the AC antenna cannot be used on the non-AC. It's not like it cannot be used. It's just that you will not be getting the power of AC if you use on non-AC. Same goes if you use AC model of AP and then you use the non-AC antenna, you will not be getting the expected output. Okay, right? So it's the legacy. Alright, so this is the features on their OS. So yeah, support up to their latest AC technology. So you can have the point to point, long range point to point. You can change the channel width. Okay, I'll show you later. Yes, you can set it automatic channel selection. The strongest level to security. So the standard configuration that you can have in point to point and point to multi-point. Okay. Okay, supported product all AirMax model, AC model are supported in this uh, AirMax. Okay, so okay, and then yes, wireless mode, point to point and point to multi-point. Okay, so they have both, so you can use for both. Okay, so this is a typical deployment. Okay, so I think let us go through on. I have a pair of nano beam here. So let us just go through the normal configuration of point to point. So I have my PC here connected to the PoE. So this is how typically the deployment if you want to configure the MX unit. So you connect PoE adapter to the AP, and then on the LAN port of the PoE adapter you connect to your host, and then you open the 192.168.1.20, which is the default IP for your MS unit. Okay. Alright. So let's just I have connected. Just ping. Okay. So I can ping 120. So I'm connected to one of the nano beam unit. So 120. Okay. At once. So this is the first time I'm accessing the unit. So it will ask for the country. Okay. So it depends if you want to use other frequency, you can use choose other country. I'll just choose Malaysia. Okay, language English. So I agree to UBNT. So you will ask to create a username. So just create one username, password. Okay, save. So this is my first nano beam. So you see the dashboard here. If you have a link, it will show you the result of the link. Okay, and some details on the access point and the station. Okay, so this unit I will configure it as access point. Okay, so I go to wireless tab. So I set as access point. Point to point. Okay, I need to set an SSID. Right, so the SSID I just leave it as default. You can change that one. You can change the channel width. Okay, this one is for advanced tuning. Okay, you can change that one. If you want to have a control frequency list, all right, which frequency list you want to add in, so you can add, okay, or you can leave it as auto, all right. Center frequency also you can change, all right, or you can leave it as auto, okay. So it depends whether you need to do something or not. It depends on the result that you are getting. Okay, so if everything is smooth, maybe you can just leave it to auto. But if you think the result is not as expected, from there you need to do some channel planning, some tuning on the channel width, which channel width to use, which control frequency list you want to add in, and center frequency. So all those things will be useful if you want to tune. Okay, same goes to this part. Okay, data rate. Okay, all those things. So this is the only part for the tuning. So it depends on your environment. So you have to do some try and error on this. Okay, right. And then wireless security. Okay, you can set the wireless security. So enable wireless security for the radio. Okay, let's say one. Okay, okay, okay. And then I'll just save. Okay. In this latest version of the iOS 8, it has a management radio, so you can also configure the unit wirelessly. But I don't like that. I always use LAN to configure my unit. Okay, just check again. Okay, so that's it. That's how you configure for the access point. So I'll just need to change the IP because I don't want to clash with the other unit. So maybe I change this one to 21. Okay, because the other one, the default will be 20 because I'm going to connect to the other one. So I'll save. Okay, so now the IP change. Now I move to the other unit. So this one will be access point, and the second unit will be station. Okay, so I connecting to the other unit. Just right. So now I'm connecting to the other unit. Okay, connected. Connect to the unit. So the same thing. Okay, Malaysia. Okay, English, and then I so this one will be station. So I go to setting again. Under wireless, I choose station. Alright, I'm using only 2.2 point. So the SSID, UBNT, and I set the security, or I can just scan. I click select here to scan for the SSID. So I choose which one I created before, which is this one. Then I select this one. I log to the AP. Alright. Okay. Okay. Then I need to put in the security for the SSID. Very simple. Okay. And then save changes. Right? So you can see later I can ping the 121 once the link has been established. Okay. Just wait for a while. Uh, Dashboard again. Okay. So you see here, now I'm connected using the microphone. I cannot in this one. Maybe it takes some time. So you can see this is the result I'm getting. So my AP and my session are very near to each other, just side by side. So you can see this is the expected throughput that I'm getting. Okay, estimation on the distance. Okay, and then the local unit. Okay, and the remote unit I'm connected to. So we have the details. So from here, you can see the channel used, the frequency used, the signal strength. Okay, so the data rate, and then the details of the B and the station. Okay, so this is how um, you determine whether your link is as expected or not expected. So from there you tune to get what you want. Okay, so it depends also on the alignment. Okay, on the alignment, and then the channel planning, all those things is really important. So it's not easy to do point to point or point to multi-point. Okay, so if, if your site are very clear without any interference, so you will be getting a higher input like this. Okay, so you have this. So this one considered is very high throughput, which is very good link. Okay, because it is just side by side with less interference. Okay. So yeah, it's very easy to configure. Other than that, network is where you change the IP. Alright, if you want to disable the management radio also, you can disable that one. Services just uh, have this one is for you to monitor. They call it UNMS. Okay, you can monitor your AirMax product. Something like this. I have the UNMS here. Sorry. So this is the monitoring tool provided by UBNT for you to monitor your AirMax and AirFiber product. Okay, so you can install, you can get the installer and install on your host. Okay, so you can monitor AirMax. If you point your unit, okay, this one, okay, this one, if you point your unit, so you can add in the list of devices, so you can monitor the status. Okay, yeah, for example, this one, monitoring your AirMax unit. So you want to know the status, okay, throughput, so all those things. Okay, right. So it's like a monitoring tool for AirMax. Okay. So these are some services. All right. You want to enable or disable. Okay. And then upgrading your devices. Okay, upgrading your devices, firmware update, okay, backup. You want to disable the management radio here, alright, you can disable this one, okay, alright, and then some additional administrator tools, okay, reboot, reset, so all are here, okay, 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 so I think yep, that's about AirMax. Very easy. I think you guys know already. Just some refresh to your mind on how to configure that one. Okay, we just maybe the advanced things you need to understand is how you want to get the expected result here. So it all depends on the tuning that you can do from here. Okay. Uh, Okay, so now I can go, I can ping both my access point and my station. I have Okay, I think that's about it about AirMax and point to point. Anything you want to ask about AirMax and AirFiber? Okay, if no question, I will end my question here. Later we will share the slide to you. Okay. Some other guideline on the slide, like which model to choose. Okay, but that one I'm referring to the Ubiquiti forum, so you can read there also. All right. So share you later. If you have any other question about the pricing of the unit, you can ask our sales, or if you have any technical question, also you can ask from the sales, and they will forward the question to us. Okay. So thank you for joining me.